Hello YouTube, and welcome to the next level of stack separation sorting, and what is quite possibly the fastest item sorter in all of Minecraft. If you haven't seen my previous two videos on stack separation, I encourage you to take a look in the description below for links to both, as well as a link to Method's original video on how stack separation works. As a quick demonstration, this is how you would separate one stack of items from a grouping of multiple entities. If using a fence gate that is opened in the same tick as the entity's approach, the fence gate will stop one entity, the oldest of all of those entities, while allowing all other entities through. The same works with trapdoors, however trapdoors will stop all entities while allowing one entity through. This is the entire basis for the stack separation sorters that I've shown before, and the one I'm about to show you now. Okay, so let's put a whole bunch of chests in and see how quickly this thing sorts, and we'll run through an explanation of all the different working bits of this. 9 full chests of items. So we can see the whole thing starting to separate down here. This pressure plate activates a 32 game tick clock, which in turn activates these pistons and splits that in half by 16 game ticks. So every 16 game ticks, we're sending 4 different entities across this stack separator. We then align them to the edge of these ender chests on one side of this center block, and we align to these sea pickles on the other side. From there, we're laddering down into this center block area from both. So you'll see that these pistons have some objects attached to them to ladder them over, and then we bounce them on the same block on opposing edges into this water stream, where our 8 game tick stack sorters handle the rest of everything. And that all finished while I was giving but before I finished the explanation of how this thing actually worked. So you'll see all of our items are down here below. If this thing sorted correctly, I should have a full chest worth 27 stacks of each of these items. So let's take a quick look. Yeah, there's 27 stacks of yellow concrete, 27 stacks of smooth stone slabs, 27 note blocks, full of observers, full of hoppers, redstone blocks, redstone dust, repeaters, and our comparators. So that just sorted, well, nine chests of 27 full stacks of items. These new sorters operate on either side of the water stream, so we're using 8 game tick sorters times 2 for effective 4 game tick sorting. We no longer need to be able to stop the motion of the entity as it's traveling past the hopper. Instead, what we do is retract a slime block launcher, which sends the momentum of the item downwards through the gap in the water stream. This pattern is theoretically infinitely expandable, as long as you maintain a 5 long water stream for each section of the sorting system. As the stacks pass over the hopper for which they're being sorted into, these filters, which are overstacked, will trigger the slime launcher once the hopper's reached full signal strength. The single item that's removed from the hopper is passed through these droppers and recombined, or at least dropped into the same place as the rest of the stack as it's coming down. Collection of the items will ultimately be up to the user. There really is no storage system that can keep up with this volume of entities. So at the moment, this is really best used as a whitelister for high volume farms, where you want to keep certain items that are produced from the farm but trash anything else. So you'd whitelist the items into these hoppers for what you want to keep, and anything else would fly over to the end, where you could have a cactus or some flame destroy those entities. I should also note that this system has also now become entirely dustless. The only dust that I had in previous versions was for item detection, but I've now swapped that out for a pressure plate for the detection and a clock that is charged off of that pressure plate. Here we have a Nether compatible version with a slightly different setup than its overworld counterpart. The stack sorters here are offset by 1 block, because we can't have water in the Nether, so our ice path has to be continuous the whole way through, which means we need to be able to stop the items with a fence gate to kill the momentum, and then pull it into the space in between the sorters. Stack separator has been adjusted accordingly to also offset the items by 1 block, as well as to alternate each side by 8 game ticks. Obviously, being in the Nether, we can't use water, so we're back to using the detector rail detection method for the item entities so that we can align it properly before the items then fall on this pressure plate, as in the overworld version, which will start the 32 game tick clock. So let's pop a chest in to demo this version. We'll also give the items a bit of time to stack coming out of the chest itself. Not that we'd be dropping items in from a chest in a real world situation, but this will help reduce the number of entities overall. So there we go, we should be stacked, and we'll drop them in. Okay, that shouldn't take too long. You can see the alternating items on either side, and you can see the items are being dropped through here below. We are done already. Let's collect and count to make sure we got them all. There we go, 3 stacks of each item. A big thank you to DatNerd for helping with the idea of the 4 game tick stack sorter. Thank you again to Glotz, Inspector Talon, Unnerving, Mr. Kartoffel, and other members of the Storage Tech Discord for their help in making this whole thing work and come together. Thanks again, YouTube. Have a great day.